relationships, other firsts? Have you been on par with your peers, or did you take more time? See, because highly sensitive people can be late bloomers, so there's nothing wrong with that. We can also be, in some areas, faster bloomers. Like I was really quick to read, but I could not figure out math until I was, geez Louise, in my late teens, no, out of high school. So now, even though you're late, maybe you've even kept up the pace, maybe you've even felt rushed and you are up, ahead of everybody, or wished for more time to reflect on these important life decisions, such as what major to pick in college, what city to live in. If you aren't contemplating these firsts when others expect you to, self-doubt can creep in. This is, I want you to remember, as highly sensitive people, as people who typically don't follow the norm, okay? That's totally normal. Do not compare yourself with anybody else. I think I've spent my whole life comparing myself to others, that it's become a bad habit, I think. So, as I've gotten older, I've realized that I don't need to compare myself to anybody, to be quite honest. So let's talk about reaching milestones. Which milestones did you reach later than your family or community expected? Did you learn to ride a bike? Well, I tell you something, my daughter learned to ride a bike way after everybody else. But today she has a 4.3 in high school and is taking college classes as a sophomore. First overnight with school, friends, like camp, sleepover. My parents, they shushed me from the house, so. First kiss, date, relationships. Yes, I was like honestly, I was like one of the last to do any of that. Have a relationship. Maybe not a kiss, I guess, because we were all in the same grade and we played a game and it was silly, but it didn't mean anything. First job. No, I had my first job like really early, only reason was because I wanted out of my house. My dad was very controlling. Graduating from school, yes, probably college. I didn't graduate like my friends did. Moving into my own apartment, but here again, I was kind of forced to because I wanted my freedom. That is my own personality. Did I want to move out? Probably not. But when it came time to it, I had to get out or I was going to not be okay. Getting married, I got married early and I have not been married since. Having children, yes, I waited till I was 35. Everybody else I knew already had kids. Just because every single one of these does not relate to you does not mean anything. So, I would like you to think about a timeline in your mind if you have one. You may not. You may completely not have a timeline. That is important to you. Buying a house, graduating college, moving out of your house, things like that from the day you were born until today. So if you are a person that moves slowly, there's nothing wrong with that. I want you to think about the advantages advantages and disadvantages or difficulties of moving slowly. You can use your own personal timeline to reflect on the following questions. So out of all the ones that I told you about, I had about half of those right. Which milestones felt difficult to complete later than expected? What was the experience like for you? And then go ahead and write it down. This is just a basic kind of getting an idea of how you're feeling, because highly sensitive people tend to bring it on themselves, like they're not good enough, they haven't moved fast enough, and that's not true. So this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you to think about all the things that maybe you thought you moved too slowly on, and maybe brought some self-doubt onto yourself, because that is not the case, okay? So I just want you to just think about that. What is the experience like for you? Especially, I think if you have siblings, you might have felt this way. So now, knowing what you know now as an adult, what advantages resulted from taking your time? Did you find the better house? Did you find the better job? Did you actually get a better spot in whatever, in like the workplace? Or did you find a better house? Did you find a better husband or wife, or non-binary? I'm not, that's just typical. Or if you're gay, did you find out that you didn't want to marry a woman or a man, you wanted to be with the same sex? That's absolutely fine. Did you actually get better grades because you moved slower? I know I did. So, knowing what you know now, what advantages resulted from taking your time? We're just gonna write that down. Okay, number 8. That was just kind of a basic, okay? Number 8, calm and overthinking mind. This is so important. I really, I might just get rid of number 7, but I think it's important for number 7, because I don't want you to feel that you are alone or you needed to finish things right away, okay? Okay. Calming and overthinking mind. How many times have you been struck awake at night, physically tired but unable to keep your mind quiet? All the time, right? Like, for me, it's a lot. You're constantly overstimulated by everything you take in all days: text, emails, screen time, traffic, bright lights, and so on. This is so important because, yes, I have a problem with this. I have to leave certain places because I'm so overstimulated. My daughter says this to me. She's like, "Are you okay, Mom?" And I'm like, "No, I think I just need to go." I try to limit my screen time as far as like anything newsworthy. I stopped not watching the news when I was 26. There's nothing I could do about it. So, yeah. Traffic lights when I would drive for a living. Oh my gosh, they would burn my eyes. They would really stress my mind out. So on and so forth. So all these things spill into your sleep time. You have no time to process all this input, so it piles up into your head and hit as you hit the pillow. This is so true. Meditation. Now, I don't even know. I'm just going to give you some advice, okay? Meditation and to think about nothing. Focus on thinking about counting down. Find a good has some good ASMR videos that it's just counting, and I can do another one. Find one that's just repetitive, that's over and over and over again, and it numbs your mind almost to the point where it isn't thinking of anything else but relax, 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 or sleep, sleep, sleep. Always, always, always take your time to reflect. Are you giving yourself enough time to actually mentally reflect on each day? So, are you actually taking a moment and I would suggest, not just at the end of the day, I would suggest all day long you give yourself a moment to reflect. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 minutes, it doesn't matter how much you need, take it. Are you giving yourself? So, yes or no? Maybe sometimes. I know sometimes I forget. So, this is so true. The root of almost all overthinking is overstimulation. You might have to say no. You might have to say no to something. You might have to say, I can't go there tonight, or I need some time for myself, or hey, do you mind taking the baby? If you have a husband or wife or whatever, I need time to myself. Self-reflection, get a journal. You should have your journal. Remember, self-compassion, self-care, self-healing is going to make you a better mother, father, business person, friend. So remember that. It gives you time to release all of that frustration and exhaustion of overthinking. And if you are an overthinker like my father or I've learned to calm that, but it is so important to take that time for yourself. What tends to be your source of overthinking? Is it your parents? Is it your family? Is it your work? Is it the traffic? Is it what are you overthinking about? So maybe you find okay, so I suggest this all the time. If you're ever stuck in your head and you're going over something over and over, on my lives, I talk about this a lot because I can see the people that really overthink stuff, and we try to talk it out, right? So it's called doing a brain dump. Your mind is clearly trying to work something out, so talk about it until it is so over talked about that it is. I mean, if you come into my lives and you can, there's groups of people who will help you through it. It's quite amazing. But it's interesting as you talk about it and people help you through it. It's all of a sudden it disappears and you're relaxed. It's crazy. If you're alone or with somebody else, give yourself a time limit, 5 to 10 minutes. I would even suggest that if you aren't alive, because you want to, on a live, like one of my lives, because you also want to be able to enjoy the relaxation that comes with the live. So, move your body. Exercise, golf, swim, those are the main two things when your thoughts are racing, okay, that you can do. And I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is simple. This is stuff you already know. Okay. Some of this stuff I believe in, some it's like, yes. So what is your consistent routine look like? Because y'all need one. Y'all need a consistent routine. I don't care if it's once a day, once a week, once a month. I don't care. But I think you should print out something that is, remind you, put it in your phone. I mean, this is the, life of technology. Set a reminder. Today is my, this is it. This is my routine. I'm going to, what tasks could you do once per week or month? Are you cramming tasks together for the sake of efficiency, but actually depleting yourself? Note on the calendar where you need breaks. Cleaning the house. Feeding or washing the dogs. Of course, feeding the dogs you do every day. But I'm saying like cleaning the house, doing laundry, taking the sheets off your bed, and you can split it up, like doing your, every time I take a shower, I make sure I clean down all of my shower. I clean it off really good to get all the hair out. I mean, like everything. So it never really needs to be clean. That's something I've just become a habit, has become a habit. So I don't have to really worry about it cleaning your toilet. I do it about once every couple of days just so it never gets bad. One thing I do have to work on is being more consistent in lives. I get overwhelmed. I should do 2 days a week, but I don't feel that's enough. I feel like TikTok really pushes for more, and then I get like completely drained. It does. I need to have a routine, and I need to stick to it. But then, of course, I have a daughter, and I'm a single parent, so that doesn't always work. Like this week, I have not been on a live because I have been totally redoing this house. My daughter's been out of town. It's been her spring break. I don't have to stop and get her. I've been like literally taking everything out and just reorganizing it. So make sure you get downtime for yourself. This is where I fail. I'm going to admit it. This is where I fail tremendously. I don't have enough downtime for myself, even though I really, really, really try. What does that look like? That means just maybe laying in bed, and I've been doing this since Santa's been gone, and I think I look better, I feel better, I feel more motivated. I'm more, I am more creative. I find that I'm like, if I do something too much, like get on a live too much, it becomes a routine. And for some people, that's great. Like they have their list of things that they do. They do the scratching, of the mic. They do the, hand flutters. They, things like that. They do the, brushing. I mean, believe me, I have all this stuff. But, honestly, to me, it has to be natural. It has to be what I feel that day. They do the eye exam, and that's great. I wish I could be like that. But to me, it really has to be natural. I can't just, and maybe that's a bad thing as a creator, I don't know, but I really can't. I'm being totally honest with you. I cannot just go on and be like, okay, 45 minutes of scratching, or, we're gonna do the glue stick now for 25 minutes, or we're gonna do tape. I have to yourself a time, like kind of, I'll use her as an example. So you can use like a time right here, the time, and then, you know, and then give yourself time for you. You can write down different things that you need to do that you hate. I hate doing laundry. I'm gonna admit that I hate it. But I need to make one for going live. I do. So identify reoccurring stress. Very important. What in your life is a constant stressor, right? For me, it's taking out the trash on Sunday nights. I dread it. I dread it. I don't know why. I have not a clue why. It's out there. It's not like it's in my house. I get all the trash out of my house, but I'll tell you one thing. I dread taking it to I dread it. And I stress about it. Isn't that crazy? Like, it's so silly to the point of where I'm like, Jody, what are you doing? What else do I do? I guess going live can be stressful if if I don't feel like I'm gonna be positive, if I'm gonna have the right things, people are gonna be bored, because I feel like if I don't really want to do it, then it's not gonna turn out as good. Do you know what I'm saying? So, here's kind of so I would write down the event. Maybe going to an in-law's house. See, I don't have any of that. So, say you have to go to the in-laws every Sunday. Maybe this is super stressful. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Maybe going to have dinner with somebody, your husband or wife's or significant others. People. Doing the laundry. Whatever event it is. Rate it from 1 to 10, okay? Very simple. In your journal, you're going to get out your journal. And you're going to just say, okay, I hate doing this. Or, it's not hate. I hate that. I hate that word. No, like, something that really does stress you out, okay? So you're going to put that in there. 1 through 5, okay, through 10. 1 is low, mild inconvenience, like probably the trash would be 1. Maybe a 5, I don't know. 5 is moderate stress, like I do stress out about not going live, and I do have new triggers, and like also new triggers for me. Doing them online, I do worry about that. And then 10, highly stressful, very disruptive stress, and you're just gonna add up the points, 1, 5, and 10. So like, not doing my laundry is a huge thing. All right, like and I've been better at this since I read this book. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do it whenever it needs to be done. So like every day I'll do a thing of laundry, and for me that somehow relieves the stress of doing it like all at once. Also, I reorganized my closet. I'd like tore everything out of there, threw so much away. So things like that, like sometimes clutter, sometimes keep putting things off, organization, and that's why I used this week to do it. Can really, really upset you, and you know what? You may not even know it. That's a crazy thing, right? You may not even know that it's stressing you out until it's stressing, like wow, I feel so much better. It's done. Like my closet, like I feel like a different person. closet, clean out the garage. Maybe you want to pull your car in the garage, but there's so much just junk you haven't thrown away. Maybe you moved, you know what I mean? Like, that was another thing I did, and I could always pull my car in, but like, I needed to clean it up. I needed to take a good day and just throw so much stuff away. I suggest doing it before garbage day. That way, it's all kind of the same thing, so you're not doubling up the garbage. Yeah, for me, that's just saying. This is probably one of the most important, I think, aspects of reducing that anxiety that comes with being a very highly sensitive person. Getting your clothes in order, getting your room in order, getting your office in order, getting your dishes in order. Maybe you've got a issue with putting things away. You need to just reorganize your kitchen, your bathroom, your child's bedroom, your junk drawer, whatever it is. You're the only one who knows. I'm just throwing things out there that's really stressing you out, okay? So we want to bring it down from a 1 or a 5 or a 10 to a 1, okay? Take time off, and I did mention this earlier. So, take time off. I don't think I have to explain this. Take time off. Why aren't you taking time off? Why? Why aren't you taking time off? Do you feel like they're going to fire you, that they are going to need you, that they can't do it without you? This can be very detrimental. I see it happen daily in my friends, people I know. No. You'll be fine. They'll be fine. Guess what, people? The world is gonna go on without us. I know, right? Do you need a vacation? If you do, you don't have to go on a 2-week vacation. You may have 4 weeks of PTO. You don't have to take it, but to take a little bit, 3 days here, 2 days here. It's amazing. This man I am dating took a couple weeks, and now he's like this. He's very much like this. Like last year, he had 80 hours of PTO, right? So that's a good 2 weeks, and he didn't take any of it. So he was paid for, and the other one just lapsed over to this year. And I'm like, no. We are gonna go somewhere fun. So what we did in the beginning of this week is we took 2 days off and we went to, he loves rocks and caves, and I do too. So we went to Ohio Caverns and had a blast. He said to me, he's like, I really needed that. And it was nice to spend time together, obviously, but I'm sure he needed that more than he even understood. Like, your job can be as interesting and as fun as it is, can become very monotonous and very stressful just because you have to get up and do it, and you feel like there's never an end. I understand that. Take a day off. It's okay. I promise you, so many people that I know that are highly sensitive people do not take days off, and yet it burns them out. You don't want to be so burned out. So I do want to write this down. Alright, let's write this down. I want you to get out your journals if you haven't already. I want you to think how you felt after your last vacation. And if you can't just reading this, and this isn't really. You're gonna decompress. Did you need an extra day to schedule a few activities? Did you schedule too many activities on your last vacation? How about a staycation? How about instead of traveling, because it's expensive, I get that. And I don't want any comments on that because you can stay home. And what I want you to do, okay, is I want you to schedule days that you're going to organize different things or get things done you need to get done. But on other days, I want you to give yourself the day off. If that means to sit in bed until 2 o'clock, that means to sit in bed. That if it means to be on social media, watch your favorite movies, catch up on whatever it is, especially coming from somebody who was born in 76. I have been working since I was 8 or 9. Like, we work. That's what we do. And if you are a Gen Xer, that is what we were born to do. We're almost crazy about it. And as much as, like, you'll see these satires on TikTok or whatever saying, oh, you know, we wanna retire. We don't. We just don't. But that doesn't mean we don't need a break. And we can't blame it on all the other generations, okay? It's our fault we're not taking a break, okay? Does that mean work's gonna get done as good? I don't know. I don't care. It's not your problem, okay? Unless you own the business, it is not your problem. You cannot do everybody's work for them. Do you understand me? And if you are of a generation that is different from mine, and you are still a hard worker, because believe it or not, there are a lot of millennials and, you know, Gen Zs, I don't even know these, but that are super hard workers. I mean, my daughter is one of them. I don't even know what she is, but, like, she will clean the house every Saturday. And she will make sure that if she is not home, that I'm here to do it, because she cannot be okay. It's her reset. And I'm not lying. She has to have her homework done before she does anything else. She's a super hard worker. I mean, so there are other generations other than Gen X. I can just, you know, all I can vouch for is myself, okay? We've been working a very long time now. I have, since I had my own business, I know what it's like to literally work 24/7. I may have had 2 hours off, but I look back on those pictures. I look double the age I am now. I'm lucky that I have good genes because my body bounced back. But I'll tell you one thing, and I drink a fabulous juice every day. Like, seriously, I believe in it 100%. It is amazing. I think I actually look younger since I started drinking it. But anyway, just saying. You know, are you the type of person that thinks that your job that your company is not going to be okay unless you're there? A lot of us feel that way, okay? You'll be fine. Take off the week. But if you do have a staycation, remember, it's not all about work. You have to organize yourself. So I'm going to put down, okay, so Monday, I'm going to take off. Yep, Monday morning, because that's usually the day that everybody, like gung-ho Monday. No, that's my day off. I'm going to force myself to chill out, whatever that is. Do something alright? Or clean up, or whatever it is, okay? Wednesday, I may work another day because I'm in the groove, alright? I may need to finish what I did yesterday. Thursday, if everything is done on Wednesday, I'm taking off Thursday. Or I may just work on Thursday. I may work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then if I'm taking the whole week off, of course. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna play with my kids, and we're gonna go do stuff. I mean, and of course, on the work days, find some fun in there, please. But schedule those days. Say hey. And the only reason I say don't start off gung ho on Monday is because if you're anything like me, it's gonna turn into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's gonna not end. So start off with Monday, chill day, go to a museum, relax at the movies, stay in bed, whatever it is you want to do. Then Tuesday, balls to the walls, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And then, of course, the weekend, if you have to work half a day Friday, fine, but I'm telling you, give yourself Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're literally gonna be excited to get back to work. And that's what our whole goal is. So now, let's say you're not a stay-at-home, stay vacation. Like you know what? You're freaking tired, man. You want out. You want a real vacation, and fine, absolutely. That's kind of what I'm hoping, but not everybody can do that. I get that. So I want you to write in your journal, think about, dream about, exist with your imagination. Where are you going to go to recharge? When are you going to do this? What you're going to do or not do. Who, if anyone, will be there. Maybe you'll travel all by yourself. How much sleep will you get? I mean, is it gonna be like party central, like seriously? Or is it going to be, pretty good sleep? I'm gonna get to sleep every night. Now, if you do not use Laneige, I think it is, for your lips, you need to, especially at our age. Smear it on there. Go ahead, smear. Oh yeah. I love it. Smear it. I tried the mint cocoa. I love it. Some people just like the regular. If you do go to my TikTok, you'll see the Laneige. Place where you can buy it. But and when you buy things from creators, it's not as if we are just getting a little percentage, like 50 cents. You can see that I eat a lot of beta carotene, but I just also made my juice, so I'm the orange, so please forgive me. But yeah, if you think that we're making a lot of money, we're not, and it's not anymore. It doesn't cost you anymore. So I want you to think. I want you to write this down. Write this down. Where are you gonna go? When will you go? When will you go? What will you do or not do? Who will you bring, if anybody? How much sleep those things, what do you need to do to make that happen? Like, I would put money, people, because they're gonna have to take off time too. Clothes. If you're going snowboarding, you need a new snowboard, or do you need extra money to rent a snowboard or ski? So on and so forth. How are you going to make that happen? How much money are you going to need to go on this? What airline? Can you use points? Can you use your partner's points? So number 4. And I like this. I wish they would have done this earlier. Highly sensitive people, or highly stressed people, however you want to call us, we need a soothing home. And I think that's why I keep talking about organization. Cleaning things that need to be cleaned. Let's say all that is done. Now what do you need? Your environment is 100% affecting you. So, look around your room, your office, not just your bedroom, I'm talking about your whole house, your office. Write down the sources of stimulation. This is so important. Get out your journal right now. Get it out. Get it out. I want you to write this down. Okay. Design a soothing home, office, playroom, bedroom, whatever it is, that I want you to look at your entire situation, your car even. My car, if it's not super clean, or I've got papers and I am uncomfortable. That's just me. I am literally not okay. And maybe that's you, and you don't even know it. So I want you to go and I want you to evaluate every room you spend time in. The car. We'll get to the outside later. Let's start with the inside, because I think that's too much. I want you to go to your office. I want you to go to your bedroom. Let's start with the bedroom and the office, okay? Because those are the two main things in your bathroom. Like, that I love. My bedroom is like, so for you, it might be your living room, your kitchen. If you love to cook, bam, boom, you got it. So, what do you see? And I want you to write this down. Sight. What do you see, or what do you see? Is there a street light busting into your bedroom, kitchen, your happy place? Is it annoying? Is the paint like some ostentatious, like super bright, aggravating color you don't like? Now, it could be something that was there before, or maybe you thought you would like it. It is so easy to change. So easy to change your paint in your house. Maybe your walls just need repainting. It won't even take you a day. Now, if you don't know how to paint or don't want to paint, you can hire somebody, and one room is pretty cheap. But my suggestion is do it yourself. It's easy, and it has a sense of security, accomplishment, and it's something you did. So what else? If I'm looking at my room, is the sun coming in? That happened to me in my kitchen and my family room. I had to put blackout blinds because was in the summer. Holy manoli, I live in Ohio. You would think I lived in Arizona. It was so freaking hot. So now at the blackout blinds, it is so nice. I feel at peace. And just, I think it cost me $100. Like, literally, they're so easy to get. So touch. Do you have wood floors and hate how they feel? Do you have pillows that crawl under your skin every time you touch them? Just change them out, even if you just get covers for them. Put a carpet down. If you have the money, do something about the wooden floors. I'm just saying. I put carpets down, and I put, like, if you've got dogs and maybe they pee on the carpets, I bought these, like, plastic. They're like plastic, but they're really soft. I can't explain it, but they're awesome. The dogs don't pee on them, and if they did, I just hose them down. But yeah, if things are sticky, maybe you need to get a steam cleaner and steam it. Use a different cleaner, things like that. I take down my drapes once every few weeks, and I wash them because I just feel like with my allergies, it makes me feel better. So next is smell. So we have sight, or what you see. How about your touch? The texture of your chair, couch. Maybe you need to get a blanket to put over that. That's what I did. So smell. Maybe there's a dog odor. Wash those sheets. Wash the covers. Get some spray. Clean it up. Wash your dogs. And sometimes that doesn't always work. Maybe it is the drapes. Find whatever it is, and maybe you need scented candles. Whatever, and it drives you crazy, almost subconsciously. Like, I know if my dogs, I have to wash their stuff every week. I know that I clean off all of my covers on my couch at least once a week to keep the dog smell. Now, I have one dog that pees, and he's old, and he's 17, but I have to literally go with a black light and check out where he's peed, and you know what? I have to clean it up because I can smell it. My smell is so good. Maybe that's bothering you. Sound. Does your significant other, does your, I don't know, roommate, do your children have the TV on 100? They don't need it on 100, people. Either get a good set of earbuds that get rid of that, or pleasantly ask them if you would just mind turning it down a little bit. That would be great. Maybe your neighbors are really loud. Well, obviously you can't go over to your neighbor's house and be like, can you shut up? Obviously. But those drapes I was telling you about do cut out like 40% of the noise for next door or just surrounding, like trains and things like that. I'm telling you. But double. It's amazing what those do. Put carpet in your room. If you have the ability to ask your neighbors, hey, just between the hours of such and such, can you just, I can hear you so well through the walls, I can hear everything you say. That usually will stop it. If you say it obviously with the good and sit in and chill out. Go to the library. When they're loud, go grocery shopping. If it's at night, there are laws against that. So, if they're really loud all night long, that's disturbing the peace, and you are actually, you have the right to a peaceful environment. So I would talk to my landlord. If you don't, if you own the home, you have to talk to them yourselves. So, out of those 4 things, and you've written them down, right? Sight, touch, smell, sound. Okay. What is the source of the stimulation? What is the source of the smell? What is the source of the sight? Like, what is the source? And if you can fix it, fix it. Put that on your schedule to make sure you keep up with it. So, how many senses are typically engaged at once for you? What is, and in my mind, I tried to say, what is the one sense that really bothers me the most? What sits there? Smell, oddly enough. And then probably touch isn't as bad as like hearing, smell, hearing, smell and hearing. And then definitely sight. Maybe even sight might be first in general. Like, I can't go into a cluttered space and feel comfortable, so I'll have to just declutter it. And sometimes I'm just too tired, but yes. So, what is the main sense that really affects you, and then go down from there? And how many are engaging at once? Which senses have more than one point of stimulation? Fair enough. So when I go into a room and it is cluttered, I get not only my sight, but my hearing changes. Like, I cannot concentrate on anything. My smell starts to kick in too, because I'm feeling like, okay, this is musty, or I see what I'm saying. When one sense is overstimulated for us, other senses are like, you know what I mean? They just like freak out. And then, of course, I said this earlier, what is your most sensitive? Okay, what is your most sensitive sense? What sense really, really, really can drive you crazy, basically? So, just like I was talking about, for your sight, you might want to remove a really colorful bedspread and put a neutral one. You may want to repaint the walls. You may, scented candles may drive you crazy. You might want to put in fresh flowers. Scratchy pillows you might want to exchange for soft ones. Oh my gosh, this is so me. I cannot sleep with a ticking clock, a ticking watch, any tick, tick, tick. I can't do it. I can't sleep. Anything that is a repetitive, annoying sound drives me absolutely insane. Like, if I can hear a buzzing somewhere, I've got to fix it. Some people are fine, but those when the battery goes bad in some people's houses, you can hear it in some people's videos, and it's like beep. 2 minutes later, beep. I have got to find the source of that. That will drive me to you're gonna have to do some soundproofing around that. If it's a watch, get rid of it. Like, not get rid of it, but put it somewhere you can't hear it. So you can do write all this down. I mean, anything I'm talking about right now, pause the video, write it down, and tell me. I want to know in the comments what has helped you the most have a happier life. Because for us, highly sensitive people, that teeny tiny little thing can make all the difference. All the difference. What is a nervous system? We need to service and soothe our nervous system. Part of unlocking your sensitive strengths is keeping your nervous system happy. When you find that balance between overstimulated stress and understimulated bored on your mind, you'll feel your absolute best, and I promise you this because I've done it. This includes being able to manage your emotions, focus on new ideas, become more creative, all these things I've talked about, have empathy for like, instead of being angry while you're driving because you're so overstimulated, you're gonna be like, you know what, they're maybe having a bad day. You can read body language, you tap into your intuition, and you feel creative, motivated, moved, inspired. It's amazing what happens. It really does. It's incredible. And that's what I'm doing this for, because not only do I want to help, I want you also to feel the benefits of, it's crazy, having a very neutral or a homeostasis in your sensitivity. So what is a nervous system? Because it's really the intricate brain for everything our body does, okay? It includes brain, spinal cords, nerves running through our whole body. I mean, literally, it can get, it just gets on your nerves, and you can feel it in your head, in your eyes, in your ears, in your skin. Like, literally, it is everything for us. It sends signals to help with everything from movement to breathing to processes, all of that stuff, okay? But it also sends signals like we are uncomfortable, we are annoyed, we are not happy, we are not in our comfort zone. So it will also activate a fight or flight response, perceived invoking feelings, anxiety, fear, muscle tension, shallow breathing, anger, or racing thoughts, among other reactions. Have you ever been in the middle of traffic and just been angry for no reason? Have you ever been standing in the middle of your kitchen and just felt infuriated? I just felt like nothing is right. Have you ever been in your car and been like, what is going on? Like, something needs to change. Because it's triggering us. Alright? Highly sensitive people are very triggered, okay? So all these things I'm talking about are going to help you not be so triggered and enjoy your life a lot better. So if you take this seriously and you listen to it over and over, you write these things down, and you learn how to soothe your nervous system. And by the way, all the things that we've talked about today are soothing our nervous system, okay? It's crazy how much freedom you will find from soothing your nervous system. But how do you do it? Well, the first step is getting to know how your nervous responds and when it responds. It is important to be mindful. You got to be kind of a detective. You got to be curious about who is present in the room, who is around you, where you are, if you're tired, if you're hungry, or you do get angry, and you just won't admit it. When you get upset, stressed, anxious, or completely just go numb, pay attention to your thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Let me tell you something. I've been doing this a long time, since I was 3, because my parents were always trying to find that girl for me. Pretty much. They wanted to fix me because I had ADHD. Well, unfortunately, I can take 50 Adderall and I just go to sleep. That medication can only take you so far, okay? I'm just gonna be straight up. You can take all the Adderall you want. You can take all of the drugs you want. You can self-medicate, but guess what? You're still going to be unnerved. It's not gonna help. It's just gonna make you think that you need more of that, which you don't. You just don't. You need to eat healthier. You need to get more sleep. You need to get rid of the people around you that are not making you feel good. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no one-size-fits-all tool to find what helps soothe us. So we're gonna start with practices. Breathing. And I've talked about this before. Just taking that one deep, intentional breath. Holding it at the top. And then letting go. And letting your shoulders relax. Relax. So, I want to give you a little tip. For me, just the act of breathing is phenomenal. Just taking the breath, and I have to write this down in my journal because I forget. I have to put it on sticky notes all over my car. Breathe. I have to put it on my phone. Take a deep breath or whatever. There's tons of apps, right? If it feels right, place a hand on your lower belly. And I want you to release all of those muscles because we hold so much tension in our lower belly. Breathe in and allow your belly to rise naturally. You're gonna pause as you hold it in, and then naturally, when you need to let it out, purse your lips and let it go. As if you're blowing a big bubble. Maybe you only have time for one. Maybe, and sometimes I do. Sometimes I only have the patience for one. If you don't, and you have time for more, or you have the patience for more at the time, let's do 3 or 4 more rounds of that. You're just gonna release your belly. Release your jaw muscle. a lot of people don't even think about how much tension they hold here. They only think about their shoulders, but that's actually not true. It's our jaw and, of course, shoulders, but also our lower belly. We hold all of our tension in our lower belly. So, this helps me. Tapping in general helps relax me. So, their suggestion that you can help bring awareness to your breath as you tap. Use your fingertips to gently tap back and forth underneath your collarbone. Now, I personally I've never done this, and you can do it like that. But some people need that, like they're so, so some of you out there, this is a good way to bring your heart rate down. You're breathing relaxed. So you're going to use your fingertips to gently tap back and forth underneath your collarbone. I also find it very comforting, right? Gently on it, but they say right underneath. Cross your arms over your chest and tap back and forth on your shoulders. Or place your hands on your lap and tap back and forth on your thighs. All these things I've heard of, I've just always what relaxes me to listen to the sound of a gentle tap when I'm by myself, because you don't want to drive anybody else crazy. Tap your feet back and forth. Now, if you're anything like me, this can kind of become a little bit aggravating to my nervous system, but some people find it very comforting. You can also get up and dance side to side. I like to sway. Get up from my natural sitting position if I'm working, and I'll sway back and forth. Drum your fingers, or listen to just some kind of hypnotic, melodic, just something very calming back and forth, and either move side to side or dance. These are just options. For me, breathing is enough. I do this. I forget. I do this, and it seems to calm me. And I never really understood why. But if I was working, I would do this quite a bit, and I think it would just bring my heart rate down if I was thinking about something or just overstimulated. I've never crossed my arms, but I'm sure it works. I also like to tickle my hand on a soft blanket with satin on it. I've done it since I was a child, and it's very calming. So sensory soothing. This has become very popular. Sometimes we need a physical, something physical to soothe our nervous system. I used to love heated blankets. However, I'm going to warn you that heated blankets also have a little bit of not so great they just produce a lot of, I guess, Plus. I don't remember what it was called, but it's not good for your body. Anyway, you can use a heated blanket. That's up to you. But I would look into it, and I can. A weighted blanket. I love it. My daughter hates it. Okay, dark spaces. A closet. When I was a kid, and even now, I will get in a closet with white noise if you want to get away from your neighbors. Remember, I was saying you just find a closet or bathroom or bathtub even, and listen to some white noise or ASMR. A warm bath. Go underneath the water if it doesn't freak you out, and listen to the pounding of the water that gently soothes you. I love that sound. Gentle yoga, the child's pose, is fantastic. The child's pose, and also if you get on your back and just bring your knees to your chest. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can go into the baby pose, which is you grab your big toes, you're on your back, you're laying down, you bring your feet up and grab your toes and just kind of rock back and forth. Like, I guess it'd be more like that, but these are things that if you're interested in, I could do a whole video on. Humming or gently singing, just make sure you aren't around anybody that drives them crazy, because my daughter likes to hum and I hate it. I don't know why. It drives me crazy. So write these things down. So we have breathing. How do you How do you soothe your nervous system, right? By breathing. We went over that. Tapping, sensory soothing, okay? You can rewind, and those are the three. Soften morning dread. I remember when I worked a lot. Your alarm goes off, you hit snooze over and over and over again, but you can't seem to get out of bed. You're exhausted, you're too cozy to get up, you're dreading facing the day. This morning dread is common for HSPSs, highly sensitive people. Outside of physical and mental health struggles, there are a few explanations for why this daily activity never gets easier. You don't have enough downtime, or you feel too overstimulated to sleep. We've gone over this. You don't like your work or whatever happens after you start your day. Take a vacation. Reunite with your job. You know what I mean? Find something in your job that started you to do it in the first place. But honestly, taking a break, as little as we like to do this, it can do wonders for our work, our desire to go into work. You feel underslept, you're chronically stressed, you have trouble falling or staying asleep. I'm up all the time, but my dogs do that to me. That's my own issue. So we've already discussed decreasing overstimulation. Now there's a entire chapter on how to do this is coming up, so we're gonna start with the morning routine. This is number 5. Soften the morning dread. Okay? Get out your pens and paper, people. I want you to write out your morning spot that you can sit and watch people. That's what we love to do. Whatever brings you fulfillment. You don't have to buy anything. You don't even have to buy coffee. You just have to have that routine of like maybe 15 minutes early. You leave the house. You and your child, you and your significant other, you by yourself. You just go and find a nice little happy place. Read a book. Watch people walk by. It's amazing what that can really do to your routine. You'd be surprised. And this is what we do. Infuse your morning with a meaning. Reflect on what is so important about your day, your morning. What is special about it? Like me calling out to my daughter, it changes everything. It literally does. It literally, that phrase changes me from, I don't want to ever leave this bed, to, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Helping your kids get ready. You may feel joyful. Sitting quietly with a cup of coffee. We already talked about this. Might be the quiet part of your day. Put on some earphones. Listen to some ASMR. Watching the sunrise. Go to the beach if you live close to the beach. Go outside on your patio. If it's winter. I love the winter mornings. So I take a walk with my dog just down the street. I just love it. You know your happy spot. And if you don't have one, you need to find one. You need to really think about what you could add into your day that's just gonna make the rest of your day so delightful. Going in early for work and spending 20 minutes listening to your favorite musician, drawing, any of that. I mean, you know you, right? So, you may look on your morning routine and be like, I have nothing. But you do. Maybe it's too many things. Getting up means you're flooded with choices. Imagine what changes or steps you could add to your morning routine to make it feel more welcoming. A shower, curling your hair, for a guy, reading a book, reading your favorite paper. Do you have a hobby that you love to do? Get up an extra 20-30 minutes early and go work on that. If you're a painter, you know what I mean? You can find something. I promise. Alright. Number 6, I'm going to bring this up. Alright. This is very important because I had to do this. Sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. I had to get rid of sugar for the most part. Obviously, I eat sugar. Caffeine, I love it. I drink it. And alcohol. Alcohol was really the catalyst to so many uncomfortable. Like, I felt if I had one glass of wine or two, I couldn't sleep. I wasn't happy. I was never alcoholic, but still, it didn't make me feel good. What you're going to do is you're going to get out your journal again. Every time you have too much sugar, caffeine, alcohol, medication, whatever it is, I want you to write down these things. Like, I want you to, like, almost as a chart or not. Caffeine, alcohol, sugar, medication, okay? I want you to tell me what it does to your energy, to your mood, to your sleep quality, mental clarity, and digestion. Drinking used to make me not have to go to the bathroom. Hated that. It made me feel tired And that's with alcohol. Now, caffeine, it gives me energy, obviously, but it does increase my mood. It doesn't affect my sleep. Mental clarity, it doesn't bother me at all. And digestion, it's fine. I mean, like, caffeine doesn't bother me. Sugar, mood, energy, everything, it just blah. Like, when I stopped eating sugar, it was amazing how much better I felt all across the board. Medication. I mean, I take my medication. I don't take any other medication. The only time that I feel different, if I just take aspirin now. If I have to take any, I guess, NSAIDs, N-A-S-I-D, right? Like I would take, when I work in the summer, my back would hurt. I would take a leave. I stopped taking that because honestly, it would clog up my digestion, and I could feel it in my stomach. It just didn't, like, help. So those are the things I want you to write down. Alright, when you consume caffeine, write down your energy, mood, sleep quality, mental clarity, digestion. Alcohol, same thing. Energy, mood, sleep quality, mental clarity, and digestion. And maybe it's fine. But these are the things I want you to think about. Sugar, same thing. Energy, mood, and you may not even know that this is affecting your life. Like when I stopped eating so much sugar, it had nothing to do with weight either, by the way. My daughter was like, I'm done with all this sugar, it's not good for your brain, yada yada yada. And I just did it with her. Honestly, I have felt so much better, like across the board. And then my medication, I actually stopped taking Wellbutrin just because I didn't like it so much in my body. So I just weaned myself off of it, and I feel fine. I don't really feel like it didn't really do anything for my sleep or, anything for my mood or energy. Nothing really changed. So why am I putting all this stuff into my body? Once you have made these adjustments, now you want to give yourself at least 32 days. Just saying, here, I'm sure it's going to say a week, but in my knowledge and experience, 32 days creates a habit. So your body, since that's how long it takes to create a habit, is not going to give you any kind of feedback. Now, you can do 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, that's fine. But give it at least 32 days. Having made the adjustments to whatever it is you choose, caffeine, alcohol, sugar, medication, I want to know the same things about your physiological experience and psychological experience as I did above: energy, mood, sleep quality, mental clarity, digestion. So if you chose, now you don't have to write them all down because obviously you're not going to pick them all, or maybe you are. That's up to you. Mine was sugar. So I would put, at first, I felt really crappy for the first week. My mood was kind of cranky. I felt really tired. My mental clarity was kind of like, digestion didn't really do anything. By week 4, 3 or 4, I looked better, I felt better, I slept better, I had more energy, I felt so much better. So that's what I would write down. Alright, now we have talked about in this section number 2. Alright, softening your existing surroundings, soothing your nervous system, what we are consuming that might affect us. So number 7, in part 2, meaningful self-care. Alright, there is so much that can make me sick. To take care of yourself, like literally do this, do that, but does it apply to us? Going to a spa, taking in a shower movie. I do not like massages. I don't want people touching my body. Like, it stresses me out. I cannot get a facial. So for me to go to a spa, that is not for me. Taking a shower movie, that can be very stressful, especially, I don't know, it can be really overstimulating for us, especially if we've been on all week. I think for us, we need a quieter or solo self-care practice, like taking a bath. Exercising may not feel quite right. Maybe jogging 25 miles is not our thing. It's not mine, not anymore. I mean, even when it was, I did it just to stay in shape. I didn't do it because it made me feel mentally better. I mean, it did a little bit, but not like meditation does, and breathing and really focusing on my surroundings. Like, we're different. We're built differently. The truth is that the most replenishing self-care for a highly sensitive person is meaningful and fulfilling at some level. It spiritually, emotionally, and creatively. Sorry. So, this is what I want you to write down. Get out your trusty pen. Okay. What types, and I want you to write this down, please. What types of current self-care practices are you engaged in? Do you spend time alone? Do you read a book? Do you breathe? Do you do yoga at home? Do you journal? Do you paint? Do you do arts and crafts? It looks different, okay? Don't go from here to what are the self-care for, what's the most popular self-care list of things? Please do not do that. That's not for us, okay? I want you to think about what makes you feel better, and this is so important. I mean, if I could jump up and down and say, this is it, what makes you as a highly sensitive person, a very sensitive to all your surroundings, what makes you, and for all of us it is different. What is our self-care routine? What does it look like? What are our practices? How would you rate your level of fulfillment from these practices? From low, makes you feel empty, like going to get a massage stresses me the hell out. I actually leave feeling more uncomfortable. I just don't like it. Going to see a movie can make me feel very dirty, very stressed out. I don't like it. But I will go if I really want to see a movie. But that's not for self-care, okay? Am I journaling enough? Am I listening to enough ASMR? Am I meditating enough? Am I drawing? Am I painting? Am I doing enough ASMR? Creating videos? Those make me feel good. So from low, medium, and high, what you're doing right now, I want you to write down, how does it make you feel? And what is it that you're doing? So, and here is a self-care reflection guide for highly sensitive people. Are you doing art, drawing, painting, crafting? singing, music, woodworking, photography, ceramics, sewing, knitting, crochet, meditation, yoga, praying, sunbathing, camping, hiking, walking, gardening, birdwatching, kayaking, skiing, surfing, stargazing, biking, rock climbing, sports, swimming, exercise, running, skating, dancing, drinking tea, baking. I mean, for some of you, running does work. For me, it just didn't. Not for like my mental anxiety level. Cooking, volunteering, traveling, playing with a pet, reading, watching movies, theater. Like, I do love to go to the theater and watch the symphony, watch a play, watch the opera. That's different than going to the movies. My daughter and I just went to see Candlelit orchestra playing Fleetwood Mac, which was so relaxing. I almost fell asleep. It was amazing. All in the dark with hundreds of candles lit. Reading, I love to read. Playing cards, doing puzzles, playing board games, playing chess. Oh, and then whatever, on and on. Have you practiced these activities over the past week, month, or year? Alright, be honest with yourself. I want you to think about all the things that I mentioned, plus whatever it is that makes you feel happy. And if running 20 miles makes you feel absolutely the best in the world, and you know that's your thing, then that's your thing. But it doesn't have to be. Okay. Organizing, whatever you want it to be. So, have you practiced any of these, or the things that make you feel good in the last month, week, month, or year? Yes or no? What does that tell you about your self-care practices? And what do you need to change? Alright? So if you haven't done anything that makes you feel good in the last year, and some of us haven't, okay? Some of us are people pleasers, and we will just go and go and go. And just drive ourselves into a hole. Seriously. That can drive our anxiety up to 100. So number 8, this is so important for me, the joy of doing less. I know it sounds like FOMO, fear of missing out and all this stuff, but it is so important for highly sensitive people to take a moment, okay? Instead of FOMO, we're gonna call it JOMO, the joy, okay, of missing out. Often being HSP can feel restrictive, taking more quiet downtime. You don't get overstimulated and not being socially engaged as often, and that is fine. I want you to know that. You will be fine. You will feel better. Trust me. So, whether in person or online, this can initially feel worrisome, because we worry. Especially if you're in a comparison mode. Do not compare yourself with anybody else. This is your life, okay? I'm being dead serious because I have done this. Instead of looking at what you're missing out on or trying to force yourself into if you're trying to force yourself into a HSP box, you're gonna end up, it's a losing battle. I've done it. You're gonna end up feeling angry, way overstressed, like you can't get anything done. You're all of a sudden it's gonna be like, why can't I ever get people, like why can't I do anything for myself? That's right. You are the only one that can make your life fit you. That makes sense? You're the only one that can change it. So, now that we know that we don't fit in that highly sensitive person box, okay? We fit into our own box. Quality over quantity, okay? What areas of your life could benefit from taking a quality over quantity approach? And what does it look like? And we did talk about this earlier. Work. Example, you check your email 10 times a day, 2 times, 5 times, whatever, instead of every single time, like every hour, every 20 minutes. You're only going to check it once, maybe once a day, maybe twice a day. You are not going to be a prisoner to that inbox. That is so hard to understand. You do not have to be prisoner to that inbox. Relationships. Example, socialize with a friend once per month instead of a quick coffee date each week. Because that is all of a sudden a routine and can become way overwhelming. It can for me. Like, I would rather just let's get together every couple months and you know what? We spend quality time together. The rushed coffee, hey, how you doing, is, to me, is it's not even, might as well not even be a friendship, you know what I mean? But that's me. Self-care. Take a weekend retreat each season. So instead of of course you want to do your daily upkeep, but you need that extra time to decompress, to let go, to not think about all the crazy stuff in life, okay? So important for us. So embrace less in more places. Over the next few weeks, write this down. Embrace the joy of doing less, okay? I know this is gonna sound to some of us oh my god, I can't believe she's even mentioning this, but your relationships, quality plus connection, more present, less irritable. So instead of every day having a cup of coffee with them for 5 minutes, or just maybe standing in line with them, you're gonna make time to sit down, make dinner, go to the park. And also, all the things that we talked about today, like changing your space and, acknowledging what you need, okay? You are gonna feel, I promise you, less irritable. You're gonna feel more present. You're gonna feel more connected to your partner or your family. Your mood, oh my gosh, is gonna feel so much more content. I can't even, I wish I could, from my brain to yours, give you the feeling of that frantic, everything, has to be this way, that way, and how crazy it feels in your mind to being oh, wow, those little changes have really made me feel so much happier, so much more content. I don't feel like I need to sit there and I'm thinking feel so much more joy, even just stepping out of your house in the morning, getting up. You're gonna hear the birds, you're gonna hear things you didn't hear before, I promise. So, I want you to write this down. So, over the next few weeks, embrace the joy of doing less. Like we had, like this entire. So instead of FOMO, you're gonna have JOMO, the joy of missing out. All right. You're gonna use all of what we talked about today. You're gonna incorporate that little by little. Take time for yourself, but I want you to write these things down. If you're ready, you can pause or grab a pen, get your journal out. How does your relationship quality and your connection feel different? An example would be, are you more present, less irritable, less rushed, less dismissive? Number 2, now I want you to write like as much as you can about this and really think about how things have changed when you aren't a captive to that FOMO or all these other stressors, or having to go get a massage, or meet Janny for coffee, or whatever it is, you know what I mean. Your mood. This is the next one. Number 2 is your mood. Are you more content? Are you happier? Are you less stressed about things that are not important? Because you know what, in the end, let me tell you something. 2 people that I knew died last week. And I always said to my mom, what is the last thing that you're going to say when you are on the last day of your life? You're not going to say, gee, I wish I worked more. Or I wish I was with my friends playing bridge, or being, a caterer to everybody else's needs but mine. No. You're going to say, gee, I really wish I did more for myself, spend more time with my family. That's what you're going to say. Your energy. Number 3 is your energy. Do you feel less weighed down? Do you feel lighter? Do you feel more energetic? Do you feel like, I don't know, just how do you feel energy-wise? Maybe at first you're going to actually feel this guilt. So you're going to feel in the first week or so, you're going to feel like, Jody, crap, man, I really feel like I'm missing out. But that will change, okay? You've got to work into it little by little. You don't have to do it all overnight, remember? You can just, say no to a few things, not everything, but even just saying no to a few things, there's gonna be a difference, okay? I promise you. Number 4, your fulfillment. Do you experience more joy? Do you hear the birds singing? Do you have time to go out and meditate in your garden? Do a project that you wanted to do? Read a book? this is important. Relationships have the potential to be deeply rewarding, fulfilling, nurturing, okay? But they are a huge source of overstimulation for us. So when you empathize and notice more grave, deep connections in a social media-centric world and tend to put others before yourself, people pleasers, relationships can end up feeling boring, dissatisfying, frustrating, empty, completely draining, toxic. In this next chapter, we will explore, because I'm doing this with you, how to find that balance to get your social needs met without feeling socially anxious. We're going to learn how to communicate our needs directly and learn more about boundaries so you don't need to cancel plans so much. Alright, like I said, you're allowed to cancel plans. But maybe there are things that you are canceling now because you're so overstimulated you don't know what to do with yourself. I have done that. That is me. I will just not show up because I will just sit at home in a frantic, almost paralyzed state of mind. I don't know if y'all like that, but I'm telling you, I have done that so many times because I'm so overstimulated. I don't even know what to do with myself. I am on this journey with you. I have done this, but it's never, never, never a bad thing to redo it, to go over and make sure that your current situation is not completely taking over, because it can, like that. Thank you for joining me in this journey. I hope for those of you that really take this seriously, it will help, because it has truly changed my life. Let's just say, when I moved here, I was 75 pounds heavier. My hair was falling out. I looked like I was 20 years older. I had everything was wrong. Everything kept happening. I didn't know how to deal with it. Like, seriously, this changed my life. And it wasn't through this book. I just happened to find this book and been like, oh my gosh, I can incorporate everything I did in a very well organized, video or group of videos that maybe, if it helps one or two people, oh my gosh, give you a guide to where to start. I was forced to start. Like anything, like at that point, anything helped. For me, I moved out of state, and it started to get better. But I know you're not gonna do. I'm like, that's an extreme, but it got so bad. It did get that bad, and I'm not kidding. Like, it was bad. Someday I may tell you the story, but when I say I understand, I do, more than you know. I'm also going to be doing 25 to 45 minute countdown and audible whispering videos. So, for those of you who need that moment, I can do from 5 minutes to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40. That way you have a range is going to be for. It's gonna say anxiety, and it's gonna have both the how to calm your mind that won't stop, and also the highly sensitive person videos, okay, with the meditation videos. So you can find them almost immediately. You know, you're not gonna